Happy New Year from wherever you're watching us in Kenya, across the continent of Africa and around the world on all our social media platforms, including at KBC Channel 1. Tonight, the Prime Edition team has documented events that shaped the New Year celebrations, including that speech from His Excellency President William Ruto to the rest of Kenyans with a tweetable phrase: short-term pain, long-term gain. We will be giving it context later on in this broadcast. But first things first, our top stories. Hello and welcome to 2024. Kenyans usher in a new year in style amid hopes that it will bring along so much needed prosperity. The Kenyan art of giving. Dozens benefit from philanthropy.
Going to be gold for Tibet in this inaugural edition of the World Championship 5K on the road. And look at the clock too. It is indeed super fast.
Catch me if you can. Joy as Beatrice Chebet shatters the world's women world 5-kilometer record in Barcelona. Welcome to the program. My name is Mboya and our sign language interpreter tonight is Byron Abuli. Entertainment spots in Nairobi were full to capacity on New Year's Eve as revelers flocked in to usher the year 2024 in style. It was good business, by the way, for proprietors who acknowledged that the year 2023 has been tough, owing to the harsh economic times occasioned by the high cost of living. They, however, exuded confidence that 2024 will be a positive year. Our reporter Timothy Kipnusu visited a number of clubs and filed this report.
It was pomp and color in different entertainment joints in the capital as revelers flocked in to usher New Year in style. Bar owners made a boom after receiving a huge number of customers. KBC Channel 1 visited Kentwood Address Bar and Restaurant in Kiambu Road to get a glimpse of how Kenyans ushered in the new year. Kentwood proprietor Alex Ndungu revealed that despite the high cost of living, there was a large number this year compared to last year.
The year has been challenging, ups and downs, of course. The economy has not been where we want it to be, but we're hopeful. We thank all the players for all the support they've given us throughout.
They, however, urged both the county and national government to provide a conducive environment for them so that their business can thrive.
Let's create a very friendly business environment. Let's make it easier for new businesses to gain licenses. Let's make it a very smooth transition.
They revealed that they are disenfranchised by the new policies that have been introduced by the county government, making it difficult for them to carry out their businesses.
Biashara yetu kwa wakati huu mambo inaifanya iwe ngumu sana na sheria. Wameleta sheria mingi ambazo kwa sasa hii ndizo zinaua biashara kabisa.
It's about time you stepped away from the complaining and do something for yourself. You know, if you keep complaining and just follow suit, then you end up with the rest.
Elsewhere, hundreds of revelers thronged Greensport Gardens along the eastern bypass in Ruiru to usher in the new year 2024. The revelers ushered the new year in style with dance and merrymaking. Greensport Gardens manager Samuel Mwenda revealed that business was not forthcoming last year, but things are looking up this year.
Umekuwa mwaka ambao umekuwa na mambo mingi sana, challenge zimekuwa nyingi za hapa na pale. Upande economy imekuwa chini sana na mambo haijakuwa vizuri kama vile tumekuwa tukitarajia.
Meanwhile, thousands of youth in Narok flocked entertainment joints to welcome the new year. They challenged the government to address the high cost of living.
2023 has been a tough year, but I expect 2024 to be a very good year.
The Lake Bogoria Spa Resort was full to capacity as revelers danced away 2023 into the new year 2024.
It'll be a great year, just not only for me, but for each and every other single Kenyan out there.
I know even economically, it's going to improve.
Entertainment joints were full to capacity on the eve of New Year despite the harsh economic times occasioned by the high cost of living, with Kenyans ushering in the New Year 2024 in style. Timothy Kipnoso for Prime Edition, Nairobi.
Now here is what members of the clergy are calling for: to have government institute deliberate measures aimed at curbing rampant corruption and economic difficulties in the country. Meanwhile, a cross-section of opposition political leaders have also demanded that the government and National Assembly urgently address the high cost of living in this new year. Here is Joseph Wahungu with more.
As billions of people globally marked the new year in style, Kenyans were not left behind, with thousands filling places of worship across the country. And when the clock struck midnight, praises and dances rent the air, with the faithful at Steward Revival Pentecostal Church along Outer Ring Road in Nairobi, ushering the new year in a joyous celebration. Delivering his New Year sermon at the church, Bishop Samuel Njiriri urged the government to prioritize the plight of Kenyans suffering due to corruption, high cost of living, and economic hardship. This as church leaders drawn from Murang'a County, led by Apostle Joseph Kihara of Favor Church and Reverend Julius Njoroge, who presided over a night vigil held at Kabati Shopping Center, predicted better economic times in 2024 and pleaded for patience as the government finds a solution to skyrocketing prices of essential commodities.
Na tuko na vision kwamba mwaka huu wa 2024 ambao tumeingia, tutakuwa na mambo makubwa itafanyika kwa serikali yetu katika economy. Tumeomba kwamba in the nation of Kenya, katika nchi ya Kenya, kwamba kuna mambo mazuri itazarika.
Hivyo tu ningesi tu kutoka kule serikalini na pia na hata kanisani, tuwache dhambi na makosa, nayo yo kanisa pia nayo iache corruption.
Meanwhile, Kakamega Women Representative Elsie Mohanda and former Governor Wycliffe Oparanya asked the government and parliamentarians to implement policies that will alleviate Kenyans' suffering.
Ninaomba mwaka wa 2024 iwe tofauti, kwa sababu wa Kenya wamepata shida nyingi mwaka uliopita. Gharama ya maisha imekuwa juu kabisa.
Mwaka wa 2024 tupitishe zile bill zenye zinasaidia watu wetu. Tusishurutishe kupitisha zile zenye zitaumiza watu wetu vile tulifanya kwa 2023. Tukapitisha finance bill yenye saa hii inaumiza kila Mkenya.
For Prime Edition, I'm Joseph Wahungu.
Now, the National Police Service, Prisons Service, and the National Youth Service will receive a 40% pay rise starting July of this year. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua said that this is part of government's commitment to reform the security sector. Meanwhile, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has reiterated government's commitment to fulfill all its election pledges made to Kenyans, including addressing the high cost of living. Tilio Marco reports.
The second in command celebrated the new year with inmates at Kingongo Prison. Rigathi emphasized the government's commitment to reform the national security sector, saying the officers will be given a 40% pay rise beginning July this year. The day-long event dubbed Kingongo Prison New Year Service and Party.
July 1st this year, tutaongeza mshahara yenu progressively within 3 years by 40%. Ndio hata nyinyi mweke kitu kwa mfuko. And we know when the morale of our officers is boosted, they'll take care of you even better.
Also saw the DP highlight the government's commitment to reform the correctional facilities and enhance working conditions of the prison warders.
We know the challenges that you are facing, your housing challenges. We are going to discuss with the PS Housing. Tunajua mambo ya allowances yenu, mambo ya mshahara, and the president has addressed that matter conclusively so that we can also be able to help you to become better people.
Meanwhile, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, in his New Year message, said the government will continue to lay a firm foundation for sustainable economic and social transformation.
Together, we should take advantage of the emerging opportunities to build a more inclusive and prosperous Kenya. Let us turn the tide.
He also hinted at government's adoption of new strategies to solve the challenges facing the country.
The end of a season is a moment for us to reflect on the challenges we have gone through together and look ahead at the opportunities we have to improve our livelihoods.
Tilio Marco for Prime Edition.
Let's now cross over to the President's New Year message. President William Ruto has assured Kenyans that the government has put in place robust measures to take the country back to the glorious days, saying that Kenya is now out of danger and on the path to sustainable economic growth. While delivering his New Year message at State House in Nakuru, the head of state also accused the opposition of derailing and sabotaging the delivery of public programs through petitions in court. Give us on Maina with that story.
7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1.
Countdown to the new year 2024.
Wish each other Happy New Year.
Then song and dance. Followed by fireworks in the sky. At the State House in Nakuru County, President William Ruto led Kenyans in ushering in the new year. In his address to the nation, President Ruto said 2023 was an extraordinary year marked by difficulties and sacrifices. The president stated that the bold, decisive, and the painful choices made were necessary for long-term gain.
The choices we've made over the last year were neither easy, populist, nor convenient. They were, however, meaningful, appropriate, and necessary. In the short term, painful, but in the long term, gainful.
He said inflation had eased to 6.8% while the economy was growing fast.
Inflation has reduced to 6.8%, and our GDP is growing at a rate of 5.4%, placing Kenya as the 29th fastest growing economy in the world.
The president also explained that the country was safe in regards to foreign debt and that the government has cut expenditure by up to 400 billion Kenyan shillings to further reduce borrowing.
2023 is the year we decided to stop wastage and extravagance, instead opting to live within our means. We decided to enhance our tax revenues by Kenya shillings 600 billion to fund our programs and development so as to safeguard our sovereignty and independence.
The head of state also assured Kenyans that the government would deliver the bottom-up economic transformation agenda.
For the first time, my Mama Mboya and Boda Boda friends will now have a chance to own a home in our Kenya shillings 4,000 a month, 3% interest rate tenant purchase scheme. That will be the case for other Kenyans.
He also threw a jab at the opposition, saying they were jeopardizing the government agenda and public programs through the cuts.
You will agree with me that there is something fundamentally wrong with opposition without any viable alternative, whose only purpose is division, conflict, and anarchy. There is something wrong with litigation, sponsored by hostage-taking vested interests, with the sole aim to delay, derail, and sabotage the delivery of public programs and defeat public interest.
The president was in company of First Lady Mama Rachel Ruto, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, his spouse Dorcas Rigathi, Governor Susan Kehika, cabinet secretaries, and members of parliament, among other leaders. Giverson Minor, Prime Edition.
Now, as the world ushered in the new year, revelers who thronged the tourist resort city of Mombasa called on Kenyans to remain optimistic and look forward to a better future. The hotel industry, on the other hand, enjoyed an increase in the number of both domestic and international tourists. Anburu with the details.
At exactly midnight, fireworks ranted the skies as Kenyans ushered in the new year in style. At the Sarova White Sands Beach Resort, the guests were treated to sumptuous meals as the buffet snaked across the gardens. Tanzanian and Kenyan artists took to stage to entertain the guests with endearing music as they enjoyed their meals. Speaking to a few guests, they reiterated that the year 2023 has been a tough year, but despite the hard economic times Kenyans have had to endure, they remain optimistic and look forward to a great year.
I'm happy for the year that has been 2023. When I look back, it's been a year of blessings. Yes, many challenges here and there, but all in all, I'm grateful for everything.
It is my prayer that 2024, the economy will be very good, especially for the old men and women, to also come and enjoy like me in Mombasa. A very nice place, seeing the goodness of the Lord in this land. Thanking God.
Last year had been a good year for the hotel sector as they recorded increased booking from both domestic and international tourists.
We have seen good new kind of caliber of guests. The comments from our guests have been good. I think support from the government by and large has been good. So it's been a great year for us. We can't complain.
Sarova White Sands Resort and Spa General Manager, who is also the chairman of the Kenya Hotel Keepers and Caterers Association, Francis Msengeti, said that they anticipate a year of investment and growth in the industry.
I think 2024 will be a growth in excellence in service, excellence in the industry. So there will be a lot of conversation in our industry in terms of providing more for our guests.
The guests and hoteliers had a message of goodwill to Kenyans.
For the year 2024 going forward, my one thing, let's trust in God. Let's maintain peace. Let's enjoy life. Be yourself. Do what you're good at, and just be hopeful.
It is my prayer 2024 itaendelea kuwa mwaka mzuri na zaidi ya yote kumpenda Mungu na kumwogopa Mungu. Na my desire is to work with God.
Happy New Year 2024 to everybody in Jesus' name.
For Prime Edition from Mombasa County, I am Anburu.
Take our first break. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us.
Kwenye ulimwengu wa sasa, taaluma za mikono zina umaarufu mwingi. Jiunge na Sensei Institute of Technology tukupe ujuzi na uzoefu wa kushughulikia ulimwengu. Tunafunza taaluma kama plant operator, plant mechanics, kuendesha gari na trailer, kuweka CCTV na alarm, kuweka solar, kuweka stima, motorcycle, motor vehicle mechanics na electronics, teknolojia ujenzi wa mijengo, ujenzi wa barabara na mabwawa, hospitality na taaluma nyinginezo. Kujiunga nasi, beba kitambulisho chako na utembelee tawi letu lolote. Sensei College. My skills, my future.
Get ready for the captivating return of the FKF Premier League, exclusively on KBC. Brace yourself for the thrill of football as 18 teams battle it out for glory. Every week, KBC brings you not one, but two heart-pounding matches, delivering the best football action right to your living room. The stakes are higher than ever. The league champion takes home a handsome prize of 5 million shillings and also earns the honor of representing Kenya in the prestigious CAF Champions League. Feel the adrenaline, experience the suspense, and join the roar of the crowd as we celebrate the return of Kenya's football legacy. The FKF Premier League, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1 and KBC radio stations. Save the date, mark your calendars, and get ready for the ultimate football spectacle. Coming to you live only on KBC. KBC, your true sports partner.
Welcome back. Our socials at KBC Channel 1. Now, of the Catholic Church, Pope Francis has called on faithfuls to entrust the new year to Mary, Mother of God. In his homily at the New Year's Day Mass celebration, Pope Francis urged the Church to consecrate their lives to Mother Mary, saying that she will lead them to Jesus. In his message coming as both believers and non-believers around the world bid farewell to the year 2023, expressing gratitude and hope for the new year.
The pontiff observed that amidst the common expressions of thanksgiving and hope, many lack a crucial dimension, a genuine relationship with God and others, urging believers to move beyond self-interest.
But in reality, worldly gratitude, worldly hope are apparent. They lack the essential dimension, which is the relationship with the other and with others, with God and with our brothers and sisters.
In a solemn service at St. Peter's Basilica, the 87-year-old head of the Catholic Church, while reflecting on the passing year, paid tribute to his predecessor, the late Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI. In his homily, Pope Francis said 2024 would be dedicated to prayer before the Holy Year 2025.
A pilgrimage, especially a demanding one, requires a good preparation. That is why this coming year, which precedes the Jubilee, is dedicated to prayer. It's an entire year dedicated to prayer.
The service culminated with the Basilica Choir and 6,500 attendees joining their voices to the hymn Te Deum. A collective expression of gratitude, praising God for the blessings of the past year. Joan Junge for Prime Edition.
Hundreds of Isiolo residents thronged the Ayo village on the outskirts of Isiolo town to usher in the new year 2024 as they sampled ancient Borana community culture. The residents enjoyed dances and food and sampled traditional artifacts courtesy of an end-of-the-year event organized by a consortium of 9 women groups from Wabera, Bulapesa, and Burat wards, as documented by our Prime Edition team.
The event was used to showcase the Borana traditional way of life, including the various items used in an ideal house in ancient times, traditional wedding, dances and foods.
Boran culture has a lot of good things, a lot of goodies ambaye the current generation hawajui. Okay, tuko na mila zingine kama maybe FGM ambaye tunasema inadhulumu jinsia ya wamama, lakini hiyo apart from maybe few, the rest of the mila yetu kama Waborana huwa inakwanga a very good one, a very conducive kwa wenye hata neighbors. So in one way or the other, si tunajaribu kuonyesha hii mila yetu, uzuri pati yake ambaye iko mzuri, ambaye tunataka kui-advance, ambaye tunataka hata current generation wa learn.
Meanwhile, the atmosphere in Nyahora village, Kuria, East Migori County, was filled with joy and celebration as a family residing in a dilapidated house received a generous New Year's gift, a brand new shelter. Ngati and her children had endured the challenges of living in a makeshift structure that was on the verge of collapsing, especially during heavy rains.
Ni kwamba sijawahi kuona haya maajabu niliyoona kwa BS wetu, kwa vile ametutembelea na ametufanyia jambo la maana katika kijiji hiki, ambapo kwa kweli watu wengi wamekuwa viongozi tangia kizazi na kizazi, lakini hatujawahi kuona jambo kama hili limetukia.
Monica Motari became aware of their plight when concerned neighbors brought it to her attention.
Dozens of less fortunate children and families in Manyata informal settlement, that's in Kisumu County, had something to smile about at the start of the new year after they received food and non-food items from well-wishers operating under the Parks Foundation. The well-wishers who grew up in the area said that they'd also identified bright students and needy and facilitated their high school and tertiary education. Achola Simon with more details from the lakeside city of Kisumu.
Parks Foundation Director Rachel Owor said the move was aimed at giving back to a society that had raised them to what they are today.
I was so much touched of seeing how the young boys in Manyata, nobody is taking care of them, Matunga. And I felt this is my home and this is where I was born. If I can give back to the community where I was born and where I grew up.
And for the first time we thought that it is much better that we pull up resources and ensure that together with the less fortunate in the slums enjoy at the same level.
The foundation will also identify bright children from the area and facilitate their education in high school and tertiary education.
We want to see on how we can support them in matters of education. For those who are unfortunate that cannot continue with their education, especially those who start for their KCPE and are just about to join the high schools, we will see in which area possible that we can assist them and ensure that they get education, that their lives may change.
To reduce the chances of the young ones being lured into crime, the foundation has also identified a qualified sports coach to mentor talented youngsters during holidays in various sports disciplines.
Most of the time, people are taking care of girl child more than boy child. And you find that into most cases, wasichana wakisha kuwa na pesa zao zingine kidogo, they start mistreating their men.
The beneficiaries received food and non-food items to help them have a sense of belonging during this festive season. Achola Simon.
Well, the world ushered in the new year with enthusiasm and hope that 2024 will bring with it peace, prosperity, and happiness. Wrapping up a year which was defined by wars and climate crisis. And as the clock struck midnight, fireworks lit up the skies in major cities right across the world. In Nairobi, however, there was panic among revelers in Nairobi's Upper Hill as flames engulfed the Old Mutual Tower. That's shortly after a celebratory firework display to usher in the new year. Here is that report.
Citizens across the globe converged in various streets and major cities to usher in the new year. In Nairobi, it was a long night after the Old Mutual building top floor caught fire immediately after the fireworks display. The fire was, however, quickly contained. In Sydney, a spectacular show to usher in the new year was displayed at the bridges and tall buildings. In the Western Hemisphere, 7 hours later, America welcomed the new year in style with fireworks lighting up the dark sky. In Dubai, a spectacular fireworks display featured in the iconic Burj Khalifa. In Auckland, New Zealand, the streets were packed as they ushered in the new year with fireworks. In Dallas, the skies on New Year came alive with a breathtaking display featuring over 5,000 pyrotechnic special effects launched from Reunion Tower, a standing 259 LED light display, and 500 drones, making it a truly one-of-a-kind event. While the world struggled with many challenges in the year past, many are hopeful that 2024 will bring in new tidings. Happy New Year 2024. Kasi Chandamasha, Prime Edition.
Police have refuted claims that the 250 suspected Mungiki members arrested in Nyeri on Sunday were attending a prayer meeting. Nyeri Central Deputy County Commissioner Joseph Mwangi says that the suspects had paraphernalia identifiable with activities of the outlawed group, such as tobacco, the gang flags, among other items. He added that they were in the county illegally, despite the meeting having been outlawed, hence causing tension among the locals. Those arrested were drawn from Nyeri, Muranga, Kiambu, Baringo, Kirinyaga, and Laikipia. They will be arraigned in court on Tuesday. 16 vehicles were impounded during the crackdown.
Kulikuwa na tashwishi kidogo kwa sababu tulianza kuona vijana balibali wenye sio wa huku Nyeri, kukawa na wasiwasi mwingi, wafanyabiashara wakawa na wasiwasi, wakashindwa mpaka kufungua mabiashara na watu mpaka wakashindwa kwenda kule kanisani.
So tulikuwa tumekuja kuomba hapa, kuomba Mwenyezi Mungu atusaidie kwa hii mwaka yenye imekuwa mzuri na hii mwaka yenye tunakuja kuingia hata ikuwe mzuri.
Waulize saa hii mtu mmoja alikuwa anaenda kanisa gani? Hawana kanisa, walikuwa wanaenda. Hakuna hata mtu mmoja. Hata wale walikuja hapa hawajui Nyeri ni wapi. Waliwekwa wanaanza tu kutembea huku, kuradarada bila kujua ni wapi wanaenda. Hakuna kesha ya kichaka. Kichaka wapi stima? Hakuna stima. Unafanya nini usiku huko kesha? Wamebeba zile vitu za zinabebangwa na Mugiki, ile ya kusniff. Kuna mafuta walikuwa nayo, mafuta fane ya kutuonyesha kwamba kuna jambo walikuwa wanajiandaa kufanya kama vile kutakasa mtu ama kitu kama hicho.
Saku Member of Parliament Dido Raso has declared interest in the Marsabit gubernatorial seat. Raso, who has served as a member of the National Assembly for 3 terms, disclosed his intention to succeed Governor Mohammed Ali, saying that his leadership will be all-inclusive. Speaking after holding a political meeting in Marsabit, Raso took pride in his development legacy, saying that it was time to seek a higher political seat. Raso's bid has been endorsed by a section of the Borana elders. From Marsabit, let's now cross over to the western part of the country. Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition leader Raila Odinga has said that government must review the taxes downwards to lower the cost of living for Kenyans. The opposition leader, who spoke at Buhungu Stadium in Kakamega County during Governor Fernandez Baraza's tournament, added that Kenyans cannot continue to bear the burden of high prices of basic commodities. Here's that report.
Na tutaka kuona mwaka huu 2024 ikiwa mzuri kuliko ile ya 2023. Tunataka ushuru ishuke. Gharama ya maisha irudi chini.
And in Kilifi, leaders from the Lamu East sub-county are challenging the youth to shun drug abuse and radicalization. Led by Lamu East Member of Parliament Ruweida Mohammed, the leaders claimed that the area, especially in Pate Island, has been witnessing cases of brutal killings of government officers who try to fight the drug menace. Captain Ruweida says that youth must be positively engaged, especially in activities such as sports, to keep them preoccupied.
Tunataka kuona mwaka huu 2024 ikiwa mzuri kuliko ile ya 2023. Tunataka ushuru ishuke. Gharama ya maisha irudi chini. na challenge ya drugs, kama nilivyowaambia huku Lamu East hakuna pahali mtu akimaliza kwenda baharini, hakuna pahali popote pa kuenda ili ajifurahishe. Sasa ndio sana wanakuwa rahisi kwa trapped kwa mambo ya drugs. Sasa tukifanya hizi pia zitaleta yani mambo kama sisi tumefanya account wafanya na wengine wote NGOs nini wafanya hizi mambo za tournament, itasaidia kwa sababu hakuna pahali pa starehe huku kwenda.
And across borders, Felix Tshisekedi has been declared the winner of the Democratic Republic of Congo's election. Tshisekedi garnered about 73% of the votes against Moise Katumbi, who came in second, having managed 18% of the votes. However, the opposition in the country is calling for a rerun, terming the elections a sham. President William Ruto has congratulated Tshisekedi, terming the election a milestone in the democratic history of DRC.
"11 days after the Democratic Republic of Congo went to the ballot, 60-year-old Felix Tshisekedi has been declared winner of the elections. He won about 73% of the vote, with his nearest challenger Moise Katumbi garnering 18% of the votes. About 2/3 of polling stations opened late, while 30% of voting machines did not work on the first day of the vote, according to an observer group. The 20th December election had to be extended to a second day in some parts of the vast country. Several of the main challengers have, however, called for protests after the results were announced, terming the election a sham. The army has been deployed in various parts of the capital, Kinshasa, to prevent any unrest, while Tshisekedi's supporters took to the streets to celebrate. President William Ruto congratulated Tshisekedi, saying that the election is a milestone in the democratic history of DRC. He added that he looks forward to strengthening the Kenya-DRC relations for the mutual benefit of the countries. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta, in his message, called on Tshisekedi to inclusively work with those who voted for him and those who did not. Opposition leader Raila Odinga also conveyed his message of congratulations to Felix Tshisekedi on his re-election. Odinga wished him the very best as he continued with the crucial mission of steering the DRC back on course. Tanzania President Samia Suluhu has also congratulated Tshisekedi. Nancy Okware, Prime Edition.
The year 2024 for residents in Likik Sapuki in Samburu County has started on a sour note after they were attacked by cattle rustlers. One person died during the melee, while 2 others were seriously injured and are currently undergoing treatment at the Samburu Referral Hospital. The region has suffered a spate of insecurity over the past 1 year that has led to loss of lives and property as well. The government has, however, pledged to decisively deal with insecurity in the troubled areas of the country.
As Kenyans joyfully welcome the new year, residents of Ilkik Sapuki in Samburu County have nothing to celebrate after they were attacked by cattle rustlers. 1 person died and 2 others were injured in the incidents.
Sisi tunasherehekea mwaka mpya kwa hospitali juu ya jeraha ya mtu mwingine tofauti, lakini wakenya wengine wanasherehekea mzuri kuruka mwaka.
Kakuja wakatufamia kwa boma na wakaua mzee wetu mmoja. Baada ya hapo wakapiga ndugu zangu wawili, mmoja akapigwa hapa mguu, mwingine akapigwa kifua.
A similar incident occurred in Baragoi area, North Samburu, where poachers shot and killed 1 person with another critically injured. Relatives of the victims, identified as Lemeya Lelesit and Samuel Lelesit, are calling for enhanced security in the area.
Wasaidie kwa chakula kwa sababu kila mtu sasa hajalima shamba. Kila mtu anasa ukifika tu apate chakula kiamcha kinywa tu peke yake ya siku. Juu hakuna mtu amelima shamba, hakuna mtu akona ng'ombe, sasa wamechukua yote. Kwa hivyo sisi nimekuwa tu kiguu na njia, tunatembea tu kila mahali.
Na tunaomba Mungu aendelee kutupatia amani. Amani ni jambo ambayo tumepigania naye sana, lakini tuko na matumaini Mungu ataenda kutenda na Mungu anaweza kila jambo.
Mimi naomba sana watu wa Samburu hii mwaka 2024 ile zawadi mnaweza pea Mwenyezi Mungu kama shukrani ni kudumisha amani.
Susan Kaondo, Prime Edition.
Beatrice Chebet shatters the world women 5-kilometer record in Barcelona. Bernardo Coach Okumu is on standby with the details later on. Stay with us.
How are you, Kenyans? My name is John Jacob Curieth. I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I bring you the 9 p.m. news on Wednesdays and Sundays. I also serve in the police quarters. I want to wish you the very best. Be careful on the roads. Make merry but carefully. God bless.
In a world filled with uncertainty, there is one thing we can always count on: the power of compassion and generosity. Every day, families in Kenya face unimaginable challenges and hardships. They struggle to put food on the table, provide shelter for their loved ones, and access basic health care. But today, you have the power to make a difference. By just contributing 1 shilling and 50 cents from your airtime, your generosity can provide access to sanitary pads, nutritious food, clean water, education, and life-saving medical care to those who need it most. To support this cause, please tune in to your favorite radio station under the KBC umbrella for step-by-step instructions on how to subscribe. KBC Helping Hands. Together, we can make a difference and bring hope to those in need.
Just before we move into sports, the banker turned priest served as a minister for public service in 2006. This week on the cabinet, we focus on Reverend Moses Akaranga, who served in President Mwai Kibaki's administration.
In 2006, he was appointed Minister for Public Service and is remembered for initiating performance contracting and the Rapid Result Initiative in the civil service. He also oversaw the review of salaries and pensions for the entire public service sector. It was also during his time as a minister when the old manual typewriters, broken telex machines, and bulky cumbersome telephone heads in public offices were discarded. It helped greatly and oversaw technology modernization. For his able stewardship of reforms in the Kenyan public sector, Akaranga was the 2007 recipient of the coveted United Nations Public Service Award. He holds a Master's of Business Administration from the United States International University and a PhD in Strategic Management from the University of Nairobi. Akaranga was a career business administrator with a background as general administrator with the Pentecostal Assemblies of God. Aside from his sterling career in government, Akaranga was also a politician. He joined elective politics in 2002, making history as the first person and a newcomer at that to defeat a sitting vice president in an election when he defeated Musalia Mudavadi in the race for the Sabatia parliamentary seat. Mudavadi had been appointed VP in the sunset years of the Moi presidency. He also served in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as Assistant Secretary, Deputy Secretary, and Acting Permanent Secretary. In 2004, he served as Assistant Minister for Agriculture. With devolution in 2013, he was elected the first governor of Vihiga County. He established the Vihiga County Community Empowerment Fund, a revolving loan facility for marginalized women, youth, and small-scale traders. The core aim was to set up cottage industries through the provision of interest-free and unsecured loans. In the 2017 general election, he lost his bid to retain the gubernatorial seat to Wilberforce Otichilo. Jackie Wambiru, The Cabinet.
Well, it's now time to cross over and look at what we had in the world of sports.
Yes, thank you so much, Tom. And indeed, we begin this new year with the great news from the World Cross Country champion Beatrice Chebet, who broke the women's world 5-kilometer record at the Casa del Nasos road race in Barcelona, Spain. Now, the 23-year-old crossed the line in 14 minutes and 13 seconds, lowering Ethiopian Senbere Teferi's women-only record by 16 seconds. Now, Chebet also finished 6 seconds faster than the women's world record in a mixed race set by Ethiopia's Eljagehu Tai at the 2021 Casa del Nasos. Now, Tai was second in the race ahead of Kenya's Lilian Rangeruk, who finished third. The win completed a successful year for Chebet, who won the world cross-country title in Bahast in February before claiming the inaugural world 5-kilometer title in Riga, Latvia in October. She also won bronze in the 5,000 meters at the World Championships in Budapest in August.
Medalist in Budapest, that is quite some accomplishment. Second in the Diamond League final. We knew she had the class on the track. That transfers well to a flat road course like this, and it is going to be gold for Chebet in this inaugural edition of the World Championship 5K on the road. And look at the clock too. It is indeed super fast as Beatrice Chebet takes gold. Rangeruk makes...
Elsewhere, Sports Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba says his ministry is determined to build strong national teams for future international competitions. Namwamba said that they would continue to give a chance to deserving talents as they prepare Talanta Hela under-17 and under-20 teams to participate in the early training camp and the MIC Football International Young Football Tournament in Spain later this year. Ababu said that Kenya will contest all future under-17 and under-20 World Cup qualifiers starting this year as Kenya prepares to host the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations together with Tanzania and Uganda. The CS said that his ministry is firm about building a formidable Harambee Stars which will be able to beat all in the world. And to Makueni County now, where Baraka FC are the champions of the third edition of the Mwengi Mutuse Cup Sports Tournament after beating Usimba FC 5-4 on post-match penalties in a highly contested final played at Makindu Railway Stadium.
Baraka FC lifted this year's Mwengi Mutuse Cup after beating Usimba FC in the final. En route to the final, Baraka fought to a 2-2 draw with Liberty FC before beating Mwangeni FC 4-0 in their second fixture. Baraka went ahead to beat Emali FC 2-0 in the semi-finals before bagging this year's title in the final. Following the win, the team received a trophy and 70,000 shillings reward, while runners-up Usimba FC and second runners-up Liberty FC walked away with 40,000 and 30,000 shillings respectively. In the ladies soccer final, Emali Starlets beat Kalungu Starlets 8-7 on penalties to win the title.
Hatutaki wachezaji wetu wanacheza alafu wanaishia tu hapa Kibwezi. Tunataka tuwapeleke mbele katika kitaifa na tuwapeleke mbele katika dunia. Vile Musa Otieno alicheza huko nje, vile hawa kina Mwalala walicheza nje, vile hawa wamekuwa makoch, nataka tusonge hivyo.
In the men's volleyball final, Kifaru beat Kibwezi 3-1 as Kifaru Queens beat Katulani Queens by the same scoreline to win the ladies' title. The event was used to scout, nurture and develop talents in Kibwezi West.
Tumepata request ya watu wa basketball kwamba to expand, tukuwe na basketball na tukuwe na handball. Hiyo tutaconsider na tutaifanya kwa sababu watu wote wale wako Kibwezi ni wetu.
More than 300 teams from Kibwezi West took part in the month-long event under Kibwezi Youth Mentorship and Sports Association, founded by Kibwezi West Member of Parliament Mwengi Mutuse. Meanwhile, Extreme Sports CEO Hussein Mohammed says that talents in Kenya go to West because there are no clear roadmaps on identifying, nurturing and safekeeping the young talents available in Kenya.
I think it is important for all stakeholders to realize the importance in investing in grassroots football. We can generate or create a lot of jobs, generate a lot of revenue from these activities. It's also a very good foundation for building our social fabric. It's also important for stakeholders to start engaging national government and county governments when it comes to matters football development.
Further afield, Alexis McAllister could return for Liverpool on New Year's Day following a 6-match absence because of a badly cut knee when the Reds host Newcastle at Anfield in the only Premier League match on card tonight. Now Liverpool remain without Andy Robertson, Kostas Tsimikas, Joel Matip, Ben Doak, Thiago Alcantara and Stephen Bajcetic. Newcastle are likely to have 9 players unavailable, though the injury to Jamal Lassalle is not serious. Now the match is set to kick off at 11 p.m. East Africa time tonight.
And Darwin Nunez is the man who has led Liverpool's fans into... They'd have celebrated a point like there's no tomorrow. They could well be celebrating a win here, Liverpool.
And that's how we wrap it up. But before they remember that if Liverpool beats Newcastle tonight, they'll be going at the top of the English Premier League table, 5 points clear, 3 points clear rather, just ahead of Aston Villa, who are second on 42 points. And if they beat Newcastle, Liverpool will be up on 45 points. Back at home tomorrow, remember to watch what has been the boom of grassroots soccer this holiday season. And tomorrow there will be the Cabinet Secretary's Trophy. That's a Sports Cabinet Secretary Trophy, and the matches will be happening at Tiagonjo grounds, that's in Budalangi, and some of the matches from 12 noon, which will be live on Y254. The Harambee Starlets will face a select side from Busia, and from 2 p.m. the Junior Stars, that the under-18 national soccer team, will face also a side from Busia men's team. Tom, it will be a great year for sports, looks like.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and the 3 things that stand out for those players from where I am is 1, the right mindset, 2, character, and of course, they have a good personality on the field and pitch. I think that's a good combination to advance towards 2024's True North. Well, we've got to go now. I want to thank you on behalf of the Prime Edition team who are in the back end. It's a new year, 2024, new things. I renewed you. My name is Mboya, and I wish you a pleasant view. We'll be back again here tomorrow. Good night.
Yes, indeed, and thank you so much for watching. I'm Bernardo Kumu. Happy New Year.